Fo, Fairy Fistmas. I'm Fanta Claus, here to wish you a fruity holiday season on the Fantastcast, the only podcast that pairs Fanta Flaws with Fanta Soda with podcasting. That's right. It's time to enjoy the beverage invented by Nazis. That's right, folks. Fanta was invented by Nazi Germany because they couldn't get access to Coke during World War II, I think, or something. I can't remember. And, yeah. Nazis love. It's like, you know how... Hey, Kevin, what's up? You know how Dr. Pepper 10 was just for men?
Yes, I remember that.
Fanta's just for Nazis.
Okay.
And pretty soon that might be a pretty popular and serviceable ad campaign. Fanta,
I think
it's just for
Twitter.
Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah? What'd you just... Oh, yeah. I hear Grok AI is starting to promote Fanta these days. Have you seen... I hate talking about this. And yet, have you seen people getting, like, the Nazis getting mad about Grok, that it's like, oh, trans women are women and stuff, and they're like, what the fuck, you know?
No, I haven't. Is it too woke for them?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, because you get access to Grok AI, the Twitter AI, by paying money. I don't think it's just like a free to use thing. So, of course, the only people who can afford it, well, that's not how you put that. The only people who have paid for it are Nazis. And so they're fucking around with it, and they're being like, you know, what's up? And of course, they're just training it on whatever data, like a bunch of data. And so I guess, you know, the overwhelming majority is just the general consensus opinions that most of us, you know, abide by. And so it's making them furious, which is pretty funny. They're like shelling out for, you know, a Nazi AI, and then they're like, this Nazi AI is too woke, you know?
I mean, it is hard to control AI at the best of times, so I could kind of see how that would happen.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder how much of it they're going, because like a big thing with OpenAI is they just kind of do essentially hot fixes, where I think how it works is it's like it's about to generate some response, and then it goes through some flowchart that's like, wait, don't do that. Use this mostly pre-written response instead or something, you know, and then it says like, you know, whatever. So I wonder like how many like Nazi hot fixes they're going to have to add to like make it sufficiently. There's got to be a word for not woke, like sufficiently, Jesus Christ. You're right, Kevin. It's going to be a bad show. I think we should lean into the bad show angle. This is the bad show episode. What do you think about that?
Okay. This is going to be the worst episode we've ever had?
No. It's just it's all about the bad show. That's what it's about. You ever watch any bad shows?
I mean, I'm sure I have. Yeah.
Oh,
like, are you looking for like a specific kind of thing, or like?
I mean, yeah. Like, I want to. What's a show that's bad, and then man, that show is bad, etc. You know. What about?
I don't. I hate poking it at something that's just, you know. I don't know. There were so many. Oh, let's see. What's the last bad show that I've watched?
What about Beastmaster? You ever watch Beastmaster?
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Yeah. Okay.
I never watched it, but that seems to me like a classic bad show. I wonder if we had Abed on, what he would say about Beastmaster. Gotta believe he'd like it, right?
I'm positive. In fact, I'm going to text him right now and just ask him.
Yes.
Beastmaster.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also the chat. If you know any bad shows, maybe magically we'll hear you using the power of friendship. Oh boy. So, you know, whatever. Bad show. What would be a bad thing? Like, what if we you have crisp AI, so this wouldn't work. But what if we just made a lot of like crazy noises, just like really loud, intense noises? You know, that would make for a bad show.
That would
Um,
probably make for a pretty bad show. I've got to give it. Okay, so chat says yeah, Beastmaster was terrible.
there we go.
Um, they're posting Care Bear memes now because you mentioned friendship.
Oh,
Two and a
is
Half
Care
Men
Bears
is
a bad
another one.
show? What about the Gummy Bears? I never watched those shows, but I don't know. Yeah, Two and a Half Men. Interesting show, you know, because by all accounts, it's one of the most successful shows, you know, but it is bad.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
good. I knew people that would watch it and they would genuinely laugh. And what I would hear in my ears is dialogue that sounded like it was written to be like a bad show that someone on a sitcom was watching, if that makes sense, you know?
Okay, yeah, I get that.
But, you know, whatever. I don't know. You know what I like to watch is Saturday Night Live. I don't know. Nothing I like watching more on Saturday night than Saturday Night Live. That's what I do with my Saturday night. You know, it's a primo spot. It's an important time. It's very rare. It's your weekend, you know? Got to just turn on
So
Saturday Night Live. Go ahead.
okay, like what cast members were big at your peak SNL era? Like who was big when you watched it and thought this was the best it's ever been?
Well, you know, I'm a terrible liar or a good liar. So I never really watched Saturday Night Live ever.
Really?
You know what the worst part about that is? I didn't know when it was on.
Okay.
I really is it on at like I don't know, is it on at different times for like what time was it on in your time zone?
10:30 here, but I think it was 11:30 for you guys.
Yeah, I was always that was my guess is that was like 11:30. I would have actually said 11. But yeah, I don't know. And that's what I know now. Like in the past I wouldn't have been able to tell you. And also I didn't know what channel it was on. So people would always be talking about SNL in school and I'd be like, I don't know where to fucking watch this show. I don't know what channel it's on. I don't and I never asked. I don't know why I never asked. That doesn't seem. I probably could have asked like my parents or my brothers or something. Not that they watched it. Also, we didn't have all the channels. For a good chunk of my life, we had like, I guess it's called basic cable. I think there's some amount of channels you get around here, or there used to be, without having to pay any money. So I think we had that. It was basically like the first 20 channels, like 1 through 20 or something like that, which is not a lot of those didn't even have anything, I don't think. But so I didn't, everyone was talking about SNL and I was like, I don't know what anyone's talking about. And it caused resentment. So, but the one thing we did is that we had some DVDs that were like I don't know what the DVDs were. It's like the best of with a person. And I think we had some best of Chris Farley and some best of Will Ferrell. And we kept them in our car because at some point my parents got a van that had a DVD player, fold down DVD player, and so we would only watch it in the fucking van. But those were good, you know. I liked those, but you know they're curated collections. So of course that's going to be, you know, the good stuff. But I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you who any of the cast in those ones were, you know. So I just
So you enjoyed watching the best ofs, but that never brought to you like this feeling of like, hey, maybe I should just check the show out then if I like this.
I mean, enjoy is I guess a strong word. I feel like they were fine. Like it was good. Like I don't know. When I think of watching comedy, I watched a lot of Comedy Central and Whose Line Is It Anyway? Because at some point we got the, you know, again, whatever, the basic cable or whatever. So we didn't get Comedy Central anymore. So like one of the only, and we didn't get like any of the cartoon shows or anything, but we got ABC Family and Whose Line would always show up on ABC Family. So I watched a lot of that, but, what channel was fucking SNL on, Kevin?
NBC.
NBC. So we probably would have got that for or whatever our channels that we did get. I want to say that was like 4 or 7 back then. Oh, yes. Yes, it's a bad show. And I'm not saying SNL is a bad show, by the way. I just I do think the idea of like, I don't know, Friday and Saturday night feel like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and do stuff. And so the idea of like, I don't know, being like, okay, yes, Saturday night, time to watch SNL. It just seems kind of weird to me. I don't know. But yeah, whatever.
Well, like for me in high school, though, we got 3 channels, and that was it. Because we lived in the middle of nowhere. So
yeah,
you were either watching like Nightline, I think was on ABC. CBS always had some terrible movie on, or it was Saturday Night Live. So that would be kind of the thing. Like everybody my age, like when I was in high school, would watch on Saturdays. Then Monday we'd all come in and talk about, hey, did you watch this? Because that was literally like you were home, you had nothing to do on Saturday night. So this was it for anybody that wanted something to do. So I think that's why it was more of a, especially for people who live in the middle of nothing like me, kind of more of a cultural thing.
Yeah,
maybe.
This is so embarrassing. It almost makes me worry I'm gonna have a stroke. But I had a brain fart. What did you watch?
Saturday Night Live.
Okay. No, that was a joke. Or it wasn't a joke. It was a clever lie. I thought you said Saturday Night Live, which maybe
Saturday.
You did. We'll have to go back. But I listened to Conan O'Brien's podcast, and a lot of times he would say Saturday Night Live. And one time someone called him on it, and he was like, yeah, that's what we would say, Saturday Night Live. And he would have people that were on Saturday Night Live on his podcast to talk to them. And a couple of them did kind of say Saturday Night Live, but most of them said Saturday Night Live, which is interesting. But if you think about it, it's kind of awkward to have it be like Saturday night, it's not Saturday night. It's not Saturday, it's Saturday night, so it kind of does make sense if you think about it.
It's a lot of awkward syllables altogether. So yeah.
Exactly.
I'll own. I meant to say that. I'm sure.
Saturday night does have like a better flow to it. I think it would be weird to like call the show Saturday Night Live, but I do think that sounds kind of cool. It's like the night of Saturn. Ugh. All right, let's stop. Let's just end the show right now.
Oh, we still got 55 minutes left.
No, I know. Maybe we could play. You got to get those. What are they called? The color test bars. The standby bars. We just got to get that. That would actually be a good bit if, like, we say end the show and then you hit that and then it's just like beep for a while, and then we come back. That could be a good bit. Oh man. Ugh. Whatever. Kevin cursed the show, everybody. Before the show started, Kevin said the show's going to have a weird energy, and I was like, I don't know. I think it's going to have a very normal energy. So, he was right, of course. But maybe because he's sabotaging it? I don't know. One thing I realized is that I haven't been fucking checking my podcast notes, and I haven't been taking podcast notes either. So, that's one of the reasons the show's so bad. What's this saying? Okay, so we had Schraub on for the Halloween episode, right? And because we had Schraub on, I don't think I told all the stories that I wanted to tell, but which is fine. It was a great episode because, it wasn't just me being a piece of shit. But so a weird thing happened. On that day, I was going to get a costume, and so I got the Sherlock Holmes hat and pipe because we were supposed to all get costumes, and in fact, only I got a costume, and in fact, I only got a hat. It wasn't really a costume. But so there's this mall kind of by my house, and the mall has like a Nordstrom, and I think it has a Nordstrom at least. I don't know. And it has it's kind of like a dying mall, basically. And so in one of the dying places that used to be a Bed Bath and Beyond, it got overtaken by a Spirit Halloween. And so that's where I was going to get the costume. And so I parked in the parking structure. I went in through the Nordstrom or whatever the fuck it was. Maybe it was a Macy's. I don't know. And so I'm coming down the escalator and I see someone. I know, and that I did not want to be seen by. Which is a bad position to be in when you're on an escalator because you're kind of stuck. This person was I should have told this story differently anyway, but this person was maybe 15 feet generously from the output of the landing per se, the landing of the escalator, and so I was like, I don't know what to fucking do. So I was wearing a mask because I always wear a mask when I do anything, a COVID mask, not like a scream mask or something, a ghost face mask. But I think that was good. That was in my favor. But I was wearing, the red thing that I've worn basically since high school, which I've known this person since high school. And my hair's the same and beard's the same and my glasses are pretty close, so I was like, Jesus Christ. So I kind of just turn away from them and try not to look or whatever, and just kind of get immediately to cover as fast as I could, essentially. And then I make like this wide arc around to try and get somewhere way out of their line of sight, because where they are in the landing of the escalator is like it's the intersection of the horizontal and the vertical kind of walkways through the entire store, and that's where the exits are situated. So like if I'm not ducking through clothes stands or whatever, I'm just like caught in the crossfire of this person's eyes. And so yeah, and the other thing is, one of the first things I clocked is she was like talking to they was talking to their friends who I didn't see, but they must have been around. They weren't within like immediate viewing distance, but they must have probably been within 30-40 feet. And they was directing various activities, like kind of laying out a plan, so to speak. And so knowing this person, I'm like, I don't want to see any of this person's friends that they might be with, or family or whatever. And I eventually get out of there and I go to the Spirit Halloween, pretty shell-shocked. And then when I leave, I like take like a big circuitous path, not through the Nordstrom or whatever it was, which is it took way longer to get to my car, but I eventually got out of there. And that's the story I would have told on the Halloween episode if we weren't engaged in such strong discourse with Rob Schraub, our good friend. Our good friend, Rob Schraub. Isn't he such a good friend of ours, Kevin? You would know. You went to his house.
I did go to his house, yes.
I didn't go to his house that time.
I'm sure you could have come.
Yeah. No, I could have. You're right. I definitely could have come. Interesting. No, but so apropos of nothing, I've told the story before about how I don't talk to my brother because he married this girl I like, or liked. I don't like her anymore. It's fine. I mean, it's not fine. I'm still pissed, but I don't like her anymore. That was the person I saw. And it was possible that she was with my brother. And I was like, I don't want to fucking, I don't talk to my brother. And so I was like, I do not want to be seen. This is not good. I like my immediate thought was like, I bet I could run back up the escalator. But I was like, that's going to be the most eye-catching thing anyone could possibly do in this circumstance, So yeah, it ended up working out as far as I can tell, in that I didn't have to talk to anybody. But yeah, anyway, that's that story. And that was bad. Perfect for such a bad show. But we must have talked about safety squints. What else? Man, I got to delete some of these. I talk about stuff and I kind of keep them in my notes for a while. I have Street Fighter 6 in my notes, which is a game I played like right when it came out. Street Fighter 6 is pretty great, but I haven't played it in a long time. I have Perfume in my notes because one time I talked about Perfume. AI lawyer. Do you remember the lawyer that used AI? He cited like a case that the AI made up, and he got like, I'm pretty sure it got disbarred. Do you remember that?
I think so. Yeah, I think that was the end of his career.
Yeah, that's was my note. That's what I took a note on. And that happened again, actually. That happened pretty recently. Another lawyer got caught in court using AI fake precedent. I don't know that he got fired yet, but yeah. This just says circumcision tweets. What the fuck could that be referring to? What do you think about circumcision, Kevin?
Well, I remember because you learned how. Wait, no, that was the vasectomy tweets. Yeah,
the vasectomy. Yeah.
No, that's not done the same way.
Yeah, no.
Boy, I don't know.
That would be rough if someone ripped off your foreskin. Scalpel free circumcision.
Yeah. That has to have been sort of along the lines of what you were talking about. I don't know.
Yeah. What do you think about circumcision, huh?
I don't know. I kind of feel like we shouldn't be doing it. You know, it's kind of like a cosmetic procedure that we're doing to people who can't consent to it.
Yeah, so I hear you. I think circumcision's still probably fine, but I get it. I don't have like a solid argument for it. I guess actually, no, the best argument I'll make is that that's probably the best time to do it, practically speaking. I mean, that doesn't measure into consent, obviously. Like the best time consensually to do it is when they agree to it themselves. But if you imagine a person who would opt for a circumcision, it's way better to do it as like a blob baby than it is to like do it at any other point in your life. But yeah, no, but that's not getting into the moral argument or anything. This says internet addiction. We had U-Song on. We got to get U-Song back. We had U-Song on recently, and one of the things we were going to talk about is internet addiction, but we never got around to it because we were just having such a good time. And oh man, here's actually a timely note. So here's a TikTok trend that's happening. Man, we should get Gasnod to come up with like a TikTok theme song. You know, that could be good. But something that TikTok people are saying now is asking if people are acoustic, which is, you know, like what do you call it? A malapropism of autistic. So how it usually goes is someone is using the filter. There's a lot of these game filters on Twitter where you're just playing a game, and there's people playing this game filter that's called like hot lava or something, and it's a cat, and you got to tap the screen really fast to make the cat run away from the lava as the lava's rising, and it's pretty hard. And a lot of people have been making posts about that filter, and they do the post and they say you're actually moving the lava, because a big thing that people do on TikTok is just lie. They just make shit up because that gets engagement, because then people go like, that's not true. Or people get engagement by saying that is true. Here's an example. Did we talk about this? Who did I talk about this to? The 6-volt batteries? I think this came up. Who was this?
I mean, this was a long time ago, but we talked about how the TikTok really kind of encouraged this perverse incentive of like, it doesn't have to be true. It just has to be outrageous.
Yeah, I was talking to someone because it's like they do these fake life hacks. Like the most recent example I saw is like they took a small jelly bean and let's just say put it in salt water. I don't know. They put it in something, or they did something to it. And then they put it in the freezer and then time cut. And then they pull it out of the freezer, and it's a giant jelly gummy bear, because you can buy a giant gummy bear. They make those and sell those. And so they're saying if you put the gummy bear in salt water or whatever the fuck, it'll become a giant gummy bear. And so someone will post a video, and then someone will stitch that video, which is when you kind of retweet a video and add your own video onto it, essentially. And so they'll do a stitch of that video going like where the video will play, and then they'll go and stroke their chin. They're always stroking their chin in these kinds of videos. And then they get a gummy bear, put it in salt water, put it in the freezer, and then open it up. And then they also have a giant gummy bear, as if to say, I tried this and it's true. And then someone else will stitch that and go, And then they'll get a fucking gummy bear, put it in salt water, and turn it into a giant gummy bear too. And then like maybe 4 or 5 iterations in, someone will be like, what's up, guys? We've been seeing this video on the internet, so we're going to see if this actually works. And then they'll do it, and it won't work because it's obviously fake. And they'll go myth busted or whatever the fuck. And so that's like 5 separate people like trading, making videos, getting engagement off of one person's fake life hack. Anyway, so back to the hot lava. They'll say what they'll do is they'll post, you actually move the hot lava, as if to say tapping the screen doesn't move the cat. It actually moves the lava, which if you go to test it is not true, because if you don't touch the screen, the lava rises. And that wouldn't be the case if, if you move the lava by tapping it. And so someone will post this and they'll say tapping it actually moves the lava. And then you'll see like 7 comments that all say, are you acoustic? And that's what's happening on TikTok. All right, hit the gas nod theme. Thanks, Gas Nod, for the theme. And if you want to hear the theme, you can subscribe to That Happens Premium, where we have all the hottest sound bits. Okay, Kevin, I know that you don't like to talk, but it's time for Kevin to talk because I have to switch my computer to plug-in power. Otherwise, my computer will turn off.
Okay. All right. So we've lost Spencer. Okay. So we mentioned this in the last episode. We're uploading video episodes of That Happens to Spotify now. So if you are watching on Spotify or listening on Spotify, if you just open up the Spotify app, you can be watching me and Spencer right now too. Oh, I think Spencer's come back now.
That's right.
So check us out on the Spotify app. Just load up That Happens the same way you listen to any podcast on there, but just open the app up and you can be looking at me right this second saying this. Isn't that exciting, Spencer?
Yeah, and now you could be looking at me right this second. But that's right. The hope for the Spotify video episodes is another, what do you call it? Marginal income stream that can be added via ads on the video. So, for example, or not for example. So if we do that, we'll have to figure out where to insert the video ads. So, for example, you could insert an ad right here. We're going to take a quick break. And we're back. So that you could have just seen a video ad, hypothetically, or not, or we'll stop doing the video episodes on Spotify because it'll turn out to be not worth it. But hey, it's interesting. It's all very interesting.
For us more than you guys, but yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think Spotify, if they start hosting our video episodes, that can be a pretty reliable place to find them. That's not very much hassle. You don't have to go to thathappenspod.com to find them. And people don't like navigating to websites anymore. Have you noticed this?
I have, yeah. It's kind of sad that like everyone's all moved to sort of these centralized hubs that didn't used to have to be there, but I get it. It's easier if everything's the same, I'm kind of just as bad of like, oh God, I have to sign up for one more website. Forget this. It's not worth it. Mm-hmm. So I get it. I just kind of wish that people would be more open to it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Those are basically my thoughts exactly. And I also don't really navigate to websites so much anymore. And I'm like, man, I should do that. Like, it sucks. But, that's life, I guess. Oh. And they're calling this, you're going to say this is a bad show? Come on. Nah, the energy is weird. Let's keep going through my notes. This just says shit with Satan. This says 23andMe data. Oh, 23andMe got hacked and a bunch of data got stolen or some shit. I wonder where they're going to do that. I like when I heard about that, I was like, I wonder if like a bunch of Nazis are going to use it to target like people of specific, heritages or whatever. This isn't even a podcast note. This note says grounded animated sitcom about a Discord chat. I guess it doesn't have to be animated, but I had the idea for a TV show that's like, it's like a Discord chat TV show. I don't think this is necessarily a great idea, but the idea is it's like a Discord chat and you'd mostly be seeing it on the person who's like logging on to Discord. So you'd see them like talking on the voice chat or something, and maybe sometimes you'd see like what they're actually doing if they're like playing a video game or watching something, but most of the time you'd be on the actual, essentially like the camera that we're looking into, and it would be like that. But then you'd also follow the people into their lives a little bit, or like I think Discord chats are probably younger people, so like maybe like a parent comes in and then you follow them out of the room to have like some sort of family interaction or something. I don't know. It just seemed like an interesting premise because you could have a lot of like scattered characters that don't really have a lot of shared circumstances other than they all kind of log into the Discord chat. But so it could be kind of like a little bit of a what do you call it? Whatever. What do you call it when it's like not a mini series, but like a bunch of short stories? There's like a word for that. Who cares, man? So I've been kind of pissed about television, because I ostensibly want to work in television, but I just started being like, man, I'm not going hard enough. I got to be like trying a lot harder, spending a lot more time, writing a lot more, getting a lot more notes, just doing a lot more. And the reason is because a show just came out on Netflix called Carol and the End of the World, which you got to check out. Please check out Carol and the End of the World. It's by my friend Dan Guterman. He wrote on Community. He wrote on Rick and Morty. He used to write for The Onion. And he's a genius. And he is, I don't know. He's like me in that he's kind of antisocial and neurotic a little bit. So I feel like a strong kinship with him on that basis, And the show Carol and the End of the World is, I think Carol, the main character, is like a really good representation of him, if that makes sense, which I think is like a really vulnerable and to that, and as a result, like daring kind of thing to do, to kind of like say, hey, this character is me. I know I'm not, Joel McHale, but this is who the show's going to follow. And the show is going to be about how being this person is not easy. It's hard to be like that in a world of people who aren't like that and often don't like people like that, And so it's about this woman, Carol, in a world where a new planet, I think it's called Kepler 7, is like going to crash into the Earth and it's going to end all civilization. So as a result, it's the apocalypse. Well, it's not like post-apocalyptic per se, but everyone's kind of like, trying to embrace the end time and live in the moment and all this stuff. And she doesn't really want that. Like, she doesn't want to let loose. She's not a person who lets loose, There's always these massive like rave parties that are happening every night all over the place because people are like, who fucking cares? And she's like, I don't want that. I want to do laundry at the laundromat, And I definitely identify with that really strongly. And so I got to go to a screening. He invited me to a screening where they watched the first 3 episodes, and man, I was just really, really blown away. It was gorgeous. The music was good. It was trippy and strange. It's kind of dreamlike and surreal. It was really funny. It was depressing. I thought it was depressing because like I identified so strongly with his character, but I don't know, like I think there's aspects that people will identify, but I think a lot of people will be like, oh, this is an interesting character. That's not how I live my life. Maybe there's some relatable aspects to it, but it's not like you wouldn't see this and go like, oh, that's me. And I felt like that. I was like, man, that's me. And like to underscore that I was there. I I know this guy from Rick and Morty and Community. I know a lot of people who worked on those shows. A good chunk of the people from the shows got invited to the screening. So I was at the screening. I was seeing a lot of people I knew, and I was like, I don't want to talk to any of these people. I'm kind of nervous and anxious and stuff. And so like I was avoiding those people. I was seeing them all having fun talking to each other, feeling like, man, I wish I could go talk to them, but it's like at the same time being like, I don't want to. It's scary. I don't want to. It felt like a high school reunion or something where you see a bunch of people that are way more successful than you, and it's like, oh, I'm a piece of shit. I fucking hate myself. And so it felt really bad. And then that's not like what the show was about, but it felt very of a piece with what the show was about emotionally. And so I was like, man, this sucks. Like I feel so bad. And then the show was so good. And I was like, man, I don't think I could ever make a show like this in my life. Should I just give up? Like, should I stop trying to like make stuff, Hollywood stuff? And so that's how I was feeling for a while. And then I was like, well, I should probably try a lot harder and try and be a lot more assertive and just see where that goes before giving up entirely. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like it made me feel like I want to be a lot more serious. The writer's strike happened and that kind of sucked. I mean, it was good, but it was bad for the momentum that basically the whole year was shot in terms of trying to get stuff off the ground. And we were really hoping to get some stuff off the ground. So, and then I don't know. I was looking at some scripts that I had written and I didn't know when I thought I wrote them, but looking at them and seeing the dates, they were like dated like 2022. And I was like, Jesus Christ, we wrote these a whole year ago. What have I been doing this whole fucking year? So, and then, now it's Christmas. It's the end of the year. You get kind of retrospective. I do, at least, because my life's miserable. I mean, it's not, but it is. But, I don't talk to my family. I don't anything. I have a roommate in an apartment. I was working a freelance job that ended, just not feeling great. And so, so watching the show is really depressing. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. I think it's really beautiful. It's really good. It's just like, I don't know. It's a show that's hard to imagine that they made it because it feels so artful, if that makes sense. It's not like Family Guy. It's like, but it is really funny, I thought, but it's funny in like this awkward way where this character is so out of touch with the rest of the world and you just kind of sit in that a lot. And it's like, man, and the lead is played by Martha Kelly and the character is very Martha Kelly-esque, and I think it's a really good use of her and you really feel her being awkward. And it's like, I bet she's maybe kind of awkward in real life too. And I don't know. It all felt very genuine and authentic and really, really, really good. So yeah, it really just got me spun out in a way that I hope will be useful because I want to hit the ground running next year and really try and get some shit going. One of the things is we've written scripts. We sent them to Starburns, but Starburns hasn't really been doing anything. They were in solidarity with the writers not doing any development work, which whatever. But they were still making shows. So they were like energizing the corporate beast that had its boot on the neck of the writers and then also in solidarity not developing stuff. It's not like we were going to pitch anything because that would have been scabbing, but I don't know, whatever. It was probably fine. But it just sucked in my position, to be like, fucking goddamn it, you're making money, you're making money in Hollywood despite the strike. It's not like I'm going to make money, but we could at least like do some groundwork so that we can position ourselves. And then, now it's the holiday shutdown, so nothing's going to happen until probably early February of next year. Ostensibly, the holiday shutdown of Hollywood ends in January, but in practice, it ends like in February, halfway through February, which sucks. It's so weird because basically from like the first week of November to like the first week of February, the executives and the agents and stuff all just kind of go on vacation all at once. So if you have stuff in production, you can work on stuff. Although if you have to get notes from the network, that sometimes slows down. But if you're trying to get stuff off the ground, it's just like, nope, not going to happen. Which is weird because we just had an extremely long strike. So it's like, hey, maybe like, start some stuff up because you already killed a whole year of development. Whatever. But so that's kind of where I'm at right now. I feel kind of energized in a good way. I feel like a fire's been lit under my ass. So hopefully it persists, because when I felt like this before, I with my partner, we wrote like 3 pilots in like 3 months. So it's like we can actually get stuff done. It's just we've been in a position where we've had to wait on higher powers a lot, and that started to get me pissed off recently. What do you think about Hollywood, Kevin?
I just don't know how anything gets done.
Yeah.
It seems like, it's a lot of like when things are shooting, everyone's just sort of standing there waiting. Things take years from when you're finished shooting before it's actually in theaters or on TV. Like, I do not understand how anything gets finished.
Yeah, I think it all bends to the, whims of delusional people. I think they're what gets stuff done, is the power of delusion. Because you have these people that are or aren't talented, but regardless of how talented they are or aren't, they think they're the hottest shit in the world, and they talk like we're the hottest shit in the world. And then people get really excited, and then that starts to move things. But, so it really does feel like delusion powers it all. So maybe it's time for me to start getting delusional, baby. Haha, yeah. All right, but you know what else is delusional or isn't delusional is snacks. That's not what we say. We say soda. There's no soda. But there is snacks. Kevin sent me snacks. Remember when you sent me snacks, Kevin?
I do.
He does. Do you? Let's eat. Oh, yes. Do you have the snacks, Kevin? Do you have to go fetch them?
They're sitting right next to me. Let me grab them here.
Kevin is fetching the snacks. Kevin has fetched the snacks. Kevin's moving a plastic bag full of snacks. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure the snacks he sent me were also in a very similar plastic bag. Did you get both of those plastic bags at the same time, Kevin?
I did, in fact, yeah, because I bought so much stuff. I had to have like 5 bags when I left the store. Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you want to talk about the Spotify episodes again while I get my snacks?
So Spotify, wow, everyone really loves Spotify. No, actually, like if you guys are enjoying these snacks, they haven't promoted us, they haven't paid for anything. But there's a mall in Rosemont, Illinois called Fashion Choice Outlets, I think, in Chicago. And there's a little kiosk there that just sells all of this stuff. And it's surprisingly cheap, and it had a pretty wide range of stuff. That's where this all came from.
Yeah, and Kevin sent me a pic like of the whole stall or whatever, and he was like, which of this stuff do you want? And man, that stall looked fucking cool. Like, so, check it out if you can, I guess. So the first ones I grabbed is fried chicken pretz, it looks like. So I'm going to hold this up to the camera. It says pretz in English. The rest of it looks to be Japanese. And there's fried chicken wings, it looks like. But these look like Pocky without chocolate. Maybe like a savory Pocky situation. So
yeah, these look just like Pocky. And there's a weird way to open them up in the back, too.
Yeah, but it's actually harder than just opening it normally.
Yeah, it's way worse just opening it. Okay.
Japanese package. Go ahead.
Yeah, these actually look pretty decent. Like, the packaging makes this looks pretty good. It looks like, I don't know, fried chicken.
Yeah. Japanese packaging is something that's like really above and beyond. Like they put a lot of effort into making their packaging like really unique. Sometimes it's like the way it opens is interesting, or sometimes like the box transforms in a way as you open it. Like Pocky itself, like when you open it, it kind of opens a little bit like a pack of cigarettes or something, where it's meant to reclose itself, And so that's just like a big deal with Japanese packaging. I remember there was like an award. There's some Japanese food that won an award for a banana box, where like there is a bunch of specific stuff about it. But one of the things is like there's a smiling banana that had a bandage, and it was to like represent like oh, some of these bananas might be like a little bit bruised or something. Not most of them, but some of them, because they'll check to make sure like the bananas are good, but they won't only sell like the perfect ones. They'll sell ones with slight imperfections that aren't, compromised quality wise or something. And then they had some other stuff, but that one won like an award. I guess there's probably American packaging awards or something, but yeah, it's just something they care about a lot. You giving this a whiff, Kevin?
Yeah, it doesn't smell like chicken, I don't think. It smells like, I smell breading more than anything.
To me, it smells kind of like stale dog food.
Yeah, it's definitely not a fresh smell.
Yeah, stale dog food and chicken bouillon, I would say.
Yeah. There's not much to it. All right, Spencer's tasting it.
I'm tasting it. I'm tasting another one. Kevin's tasting it.
Yeah.
I'm housing 3.
It tastes like chicken bouillon, I think, or like some kind of like chicken soup stock of some kind. It's not bad.
No, it's not bad. It's not like a pretzel level of salt, but there is salt in it. And I don't know, maybe you have to eat more, Kevin, but there's definitely a pretty solid kick to them, spice wise. It's like comes on a bit slow, but it's like a pretty persistent burn. And
it's like white pepper, maybe, kind of.
Yeah, and I like it. I think this is real good. It's not real good, but between the salt, the pretzel, the tiny bit of flavor, and the burn, it's like, yeah, I could definitely eat this whole thing.
Yeah, I'll finish this one for sure.
What are these calorie wise? 831 kilojoules for 41 grams. What's kilojoules into calories? I always forget. 831 kg into cal. What the fuck? Kilojoule, not joule. Kevin was right. This is a bad show.
It's about 200 calories.
Okay, 200 calories. That's not bad. I went on a long hike today, so I think I'm under for my calories. But these are good.
Yeah. All right. Should we try the other one now? Because there's 2 flavors of this. This one's supposed to be some kind of like, I don't know, meat kebab. It looks like steak, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like a red meat kebab. If it is Japanese, you would think this is some sort of, what do they call it, teppanyaki?
Yeah.
And this one has more of a pot. Do you see this back? This back looks completely different than the other one. Oh wait, maybe not. Oh no. The back more emphasizes. So the back of the chicken one, it has this kind of like thing that you're supposed to set the bag into the box, kind of like a holdery thing for it. But the innovation on the back here is that it shows like this little satchel, and that's where you're supposed to break open the thing. So it's more clear than it is in the other one. But how does this even work? You're still supposed to get it out of the top, and then you just set it like, I guess it's like a little stand. Let's see. Then you fold this back, and then I think this is how it's supposed to situate itself, which this is what I was talking about with the Japanese pen. It's like, what is this doing for anybody? You can just set this bag on the ground. It's fine. Like, I don't know why this is better, but yeah, I don't know. It kind of was like a little bit like one of those incense holders, where like the stick of incense is kind of in a slot, so it's kind of at an angle. And that's kind of the vibe it's going for if you're listening to the podcast and not watching it on Spotify video. I've already eaten one. So this smells like, what is that?
So this smells a lot like a
kind of, right?
hot pot. Yeah, it's a curry hot pot kind of flavor. It smells really good. Like, it reminds me so much of, there's a chain of fondue restaurants called the Melting Pot, and it smells like one of their recipes.
I'm getting like, what is this scent? Is it
It smells like cumin, I think.
Is it cumin? Yeah, there's like a seed. Yeah. No, it is. It's cumin. It's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, it is. I was like, what is the spice? I know I've cooked with the spice. I don't have the spice in my cabinet, but I cook with it. And when I make beer, yeah, we use a lot of this. I mean,
yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, because like anybody who's been to the melting pot and gotten the mojo or moho or whatever it's called thing, it is. This is uncannily like what that smells like. Yeah, this is great too. I like this.
Yeah, I think maybe I like the chicken one a little more, but either of these are fine. They're both good. Man, Japanese knows how to snack. Write that down. That's episode title. Japanese knows how to snack. Jesus Christ. All right, we got one more. Doritos cup style smoked cheese.
Did the salsa survive too? Because the salsa is supposed to come with this one.
Yeah, it did, but I don't know if I want to fuck with salsa. Do you want to just try the salsa? Maybe I will if you like it.
All right. So this is Doritos cup style smoked cheese. Like these kind of look like large sun chips. Is I guess the best way I could describe. Just look at the picture in the package. But these are.
Did you mention they're S-shaped? It's like an extruded S.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of sort of look like sun chips, but thinner and longer. Is sort of the shape they've got there.
They don't look like as S-like in reality as they do on the thing, but you do see like the little S design. They are extruded.
And these are from Japan. These are just supposed to be smoked cheese flavored Doritos cup style. All right, so
I'm having them. You want to have some, Kevin?
Yeah, I mean they smell like nacho cheese, kind of. You know?
Yeah, it's definitely a less Mexican take on Doritos, which I think is common. I think in a lot of places in the world they don't do the nacho cheese; they just have like a cheddar cheese kind of flavor, and this seems a lot like that. I'm not really getting a lot of smoke to it. You get the corn. And it is cheesy. I wouldn't say it's super cheesy. You know, I think like the nacho cheese Doritos are probably cheesier.
Okay, so I've opened the salsa cup. It just smells like paste mild salsa.
Yeah.
Like it's.
I just didn't trust the packaging. I looked at it. I was like, this doesn't look right. The seal wasn't broken or anything, but it just kind of looked off to me.
Yeah, it's just like the most inoffensive, like, I don't know. You sit down at a Mexican restaurant and they pour a bowl of this in front of their free chips they give you, kind of salsa. It's fine. It's just nothing fantastic. It's nothing.
Yeah.
I feel it was safe to eat, though.
I don't really like salsa very much, so I think I might just skip that. I don't know.
That's fine. It's pretty forgettable.
So I'm just crunching right into the fucking mic. Kevin also sent us something else, but I don't know if we should try it. Maybe we should just read an email instead. What do you think, Kevin?
It's totally up to you.
I know it is. Go ahead.
I'm just easygoing either way.
Yeah, you sure are. I'm still crunching right into the fucking mic. This new food that Kevin sent, I don't think it'll crunch. Maybe that's just a little teaser. But yeah, let's skip it. We'll get to it next time. Next time on That Happens. That Will Happen. We should have a segment called That Will Happen, where we make up a bunch of stuff that's going to happen on the next episode. You know, like a reel of like scenes from the next episode.
All right,
Kevin, I put that down. Don't eat that. You know, that kind of thing. I don't know. What were you going to say?
No, I think that's a fantastic idea. Like, just totally, yeah. Fake commercials for stuff that's totally not in the next episode.
Yeah. That is actually a good episode. Let us know in the chat if you think that's a good idea. I can't talk right. Kevin was right, everybody. Kevin's always fucking right. Oh, here's the thing. So for Christmas, since I have no one in my life except you, I buy myself my own Christmas gifts. What a depressing thing to say out loud. But you know, people do this. But I've been thinking about getting a different mic. I don't necessarily want a super, super expensive mic. Like you have really nice mics and stuff. I don't really want a crazy mic, but I would like one that ideally has a USB so I can just hard plug it in, as opposed to like right now we go through a Focusrite Scarlett box. It's a XLR mic, which isn't bad. Like I have the setup to do it, but I was thinking like there might be a nicer condenser mic that has USB or something. You have any ideas? There's a lot of like podcasting articles that talk about various mics, you know, so it's not like I'm fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I ended up just switching to a kind of cheap Blue Yeti microphone.
Yeah,
it's just USB, and it seems to actually do better than the Focusrite I've got.
So this arm, actually, this mic arm with the shock mount, it was a Yeti thing, and it came with the Yeti mic. I gave it to Jeff. I should get that back to Jeff from Jeff. He's not going to use it. But I will say that the Yeti, it's a great mic, and maybe this is a problem with all condenser mics, honestly, that I could get, but it picks up a lot of ambient sound. So when I would use the Yeti, it would pick up the road sound by the road outside my house, and it would also pick up like anything my roommate was doing, which this mic is not nearly as powerful. It's very directional. So, but this mic occasionally can pick up sound if it's up all the way, which is one of the reasons I tune it down for the show. So I don't know. I definitely have the Yeti. So if that's the solution, I can get that. But, yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about maybe something else. I wonder if that's going to be a problem with all condenser mics. What do you think?
They have different patterns that you can get, and some even have a switchable pattern that you can, like, you know, flip a little switch, and it's either just aimed at you or it's picking up room noise or anything too. So I'm sure we can find you something that's going to sound fantastic for you and not pick up everything else going on around you.
The Yeti does have that, actually, doesn't it? It has a dial that like switches it from cardioid or whatever.
Yeah.
What's the most directional setting on that? Maybe I think I always had it on cardioid, so maybe there's a more directional setting than that.
That's probably, I mean, some of them have a very, very tight unidirectional one, but usually cardioid is the one that you would want. But you have to be very careful, because then it's if you're not in the sweet spot too, you're just picking up the room noise and not you then. So you have to really look at where the chart is for how it aims it.
Maybe that was the problem.
There's usually a little dot that kind of like clues into like talking to the dot.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. All right. Well, if you have a suggestion for what I should get, let me know. Send us an email at thathappenspod.com, or send us an email about something way better than that. I think you could beat that in terms of subjects for emails. We'll check right now because I got emails to read. Chris writes, "Live happened soon, but me be drinky. I will watch, and when you don't read my mail, I will be angry." Nina Hagen Alptrum is who it says it's from, I guess. Although again, it says the email name was Chris. So that's interesting. What do you make of that, Kevin?
I have no, I mean, isn't Nina Hagen the singer for like, what is it? 99 Red Balloons?
Let's Google it.
I think that is. Yeah, Nina Hagen is a German singer and songwriter. Okay,
well, there you go.
It's good to know that she likes our. I think she liked, or she hates us. I don't know.
I think Chris wrote this, so who knows?
Okay.
Whatever. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate the email. Sorry you're drunk, or congratulations for being drunk. You know, either way. I'm still digesting that a little bit. He be drinky. He really do be drinky. I feel like I had a thought based on that email that I lost. The thought has been lost. Oh, did I say that the subject of this email is Spencer? Can I awake? Question mark. So there's that too. All right. Abraham writes, "Hey Spencer and Kevin, I'm writing to tell you that one of the things I get out of this podcast, I mean, other than I like the dynamic you two have built, is that I really like hearing Spencer talk about his struggles with mental health and the different things he's tried to deal with it. I've always sympathized a lot with the kind of trauma and experiences Spencer has put forward, and I'm in a particularly frail moment right now." Uh-oh. He sent this to us 4 weeks ago. I hope he's okay. I'm going through a divorce that is putting me to the limit when it comes to my ability to handle my negative self-talk and the stagnation that comes with depression, on top of the fact that all started happening after the company I was working for completely shut down our operations and left me unemployed. I feel like I was handling it well for a little while there, but I've been really having a really hard couple days. I'm back job hunting and trying to exercise, but being back in my mom's house almost 1,000 miles away from my children is not really helping. I know Kevin went through a divorce before. At least I think I remember that being a thing. So I'd like to hear his perspective on this. How did he climb out of that hole? Also for Spencer, what do you think is the best way to deal with negative self-talk and stagnation when you don't have a way to access therapy? Sorry for this long letter. I really appreciate the podcast and the time you put into it. I'll take the chance to say that giving D&D with Kevin another shot could be worth it, maybe just with a different character. I wish you both the best. So I don't know that Kevin wants to talk about that. And I probably should have read this email before reading it out loud. I don't know that I would have read it if I pre-read it, because I don't want to subject Kevin to any of this. But I'm just going to give a 5-second pause in case he wants to start. Otherwise, I'm going to keep moving on.
No, I mean, we only have 6 minutes. I don't even know how to just condense this to 6 minutes. It was probably one of the more difficult periods of my life I went through, because it's like we were together for over a decade. And it's really hard to go from like having somebody that you're literally with 24/7 to suddenly not, and that was a big change for me. And is like, we had shared friends and we had shared pets and we had shared everything. And separating your life like that is really hard. And, it came down to, I had a few friends that knew what was going on and, just kept me talking to them and checked up on me every so often and things like that, and made things a lot better. I think that was a big difference for me. And I think too, just knowing that like I wouldn't be where I am today had I not gone through all that before too. I think every relationship unfortunately for the person you're with, you learn a lot in a relationship that benefits the next person you're with. And I think the harder the breakup is and the more painful it is, the bigger the lesson is that you learn. And, as much as I'd like to say I'm perfect and did nothing wrong and everything is great, I learned a lot from that, and I wouldn't be the person I am today if I hadn't gone through that. So I guess, in that specific part that you're asking about here, I would say just try to stay positive and look for the people who are helping you, look for the people that are making it better, and then that's kind of going to be the person you become after it's all over with.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. So how do you deal with negative self-talk and stagnation? I don't know, man. I'm definitely not qualified to talk about that sort of stuff. So I don't know what I'm going to say, but whatever I say, take it with a real grain of salt. But I think meditation is helpful. I think meditation is really hard, and especially if you're emotionally vulnerable. I think it's really hard because negative self-talk can come when you're mentally quiet, when you're still, when you're not thinking. So trying to meditate can be really hard because you'll quiet your mind. And then the only thing that comes through is, you fucking piece of shit. You got a divorce. Everything sucks. So it's like, it's really, really hard. So I was doing that EMDR therapy, and that was really helpful for a while. But towards the end of it, I was having more strong negative self-talk. And towards the end of it, I was trying to do more meditation. I actually started going to a meditation group, which I only went once, and then I got the new job, and the job was always working me every Monday night, so I couldn't go back. But I want to try to go back to that again. But I went to that, and it was hard because I was just having really negative thoughts about the situation I was in. And then more time passed. That's the thing, is that it's just on some level it's about just surviving until enough time passes to make it feel better, because it doesn't make it go away, but your brain and your body have a way of dulling stuff that's happened longer ago. That's just kind of how it works, and that will help on some level. But I don't know. Again, you shouldn't take my advice, but you can maybe look into EMDR. On YouTube, there's videos that talk about it. There's videos that have like meditation walkthroughs of EMDR and stuff. And you can learn how to do tapping and see if that helps. Some people it helps, some people it doesn't. I think it really helped me, at least in a short term. Longer term, I haven't been tapping like fucking at all lately. I think I generally feel more positive now than I did before I started it. Who's to say if that was because of the therapy, or if it was just I was, in a bad place then and I'm not in this bad a place now. Who knows? But it's something. Got to keep exercising. I think exercising is the single best thing I've done for my health. You got to find something that works. I think for me, hiking is really helpful, because it's not just like a mental game where I wonder if I could do one more set. I wonder if I can do one more rep. I wonder if I can go 3 more minutes on the treadmill. It's like, I like hiking on this path. Hiking on this path is getting easier for me. If I see and feel concrete progress, I'll go up this hill. I feel like I could go down to the hill and go up it again. Oh, I can, and just focusing on what your body can do, and like physical progress that you can see is, I think, really helpful to kind of center and ground yourself a bit. So I've been trying to lose weight. I did this magic show, Commander at Home, which I talked about it when the last episode came out. And I just saw the episode this week. A new episode's going to come out that I was on. And I saw that episode. I was watching it. And man, I was so much fatter than I am now. It's crazy. So weight loss is different than just exercise, but being able to like concretely go like, man, I can walk up this hill 5 times, whereas before I could barely walk up it once, is like something you can kind of reflect on and feel a bit of pride in. So I really do think exercise is really important to mental health, which before I was exercising, I still felt that was the case. I just didn't do it, So yeah. And also, Abed says, I love Beastmaster. So there you go. Ask Abed, we don't have time, but ask Abed anyway, if he likes 2.5 Men. But anyway, that's our show. Don't visit my Patreon. So yeah, this week, Commander at Home, it's a YouTube channel. Commander at Home is going to have a new episode that I was on. I think it's a pretty good episode. It wasn't as good as the first episode I did, or not the last episode I did, which is like one of the best episodes ever, I think. But it's a really good episode, so check that out. Discord chat, the animated series, coming to you soon on Disney Plus or something. Check out Carol and the End of the World. It's really, really good. You got to check it out. It's a mini series, so I don't know if there's an option to make more episodes necessarily, but definitely check it out regardless. It's awesome. And check out Pretz, the Japanese pretzel snack. It's in theaters now. What about you, Kevin?
That's about it. Just sign up for Spencer's Patreon and check us out on SharpenVideo.com every Sunday night.
No, don't sign up for my Patreon. Not yet, at least. I'm planning something big, and I can't talk about it because of federal regulators. So until next time, what did Abed say about 2.5 Men?
Yeah, not answered yet.
Bye, everybody.